In the world of music, some musicians become famous, others become legendary. But there is another category of artist: the musicians whose work appears everywhere, even if their names are not always in the spotlight. One of those musicians is Abraham Laboriel. For more than 5 decades, his bass playing has shaped thousands of recordings across jazz, pop, rock, gospel, and film music. From studio sessions in Los Angeles to stages around the world, his groove has supported some of the biggest artists in history: Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, Ray Charles, Elton John, Stevie Wonder, Dolly Parton, and hundreds more. In fact, Abraham Laboriel has played on more than 4,000 recordings and soundtracks, making him one of the most recorded bass players of all time. Yet behind those thousands of performances is a remarkable story. A story that begins far from Hollywood studios, in Mexico City. This is the story of Abraham Laboriel. Before we continue, subscribe now, like this video, comment, and share. Abraham Laboriel was born on July 17, 1947, in Mexico City. Music surrounded him from the very beginning. His father was a musician and composer who taught him classical guitar at an early age. By the age of 6, Abraham was already studying music seriously. He learned not only how to play instruments, but also how to listen deeply. Those early lessons would shape his musical philosophy for the rest of his life. Music was not just technique. Music was expression, and rhythm was the heartbeat. As a teenager, Laboriel was already performing professionally. He played guitar, arranged music, and explored different styles. But at that time, the bass was not yet his main instrument. That would change during his university years. When he enrolled at the prestigious Berklee College of Music in Boston, his primary instrument was still guitar. But something unexpected happened. He discovered the bass, and almost immediately he realized something important. The bass felt natural. The instrument suited his musical instincts perfectly. During his time at Berklee, Laboriel switched his focus from guitar to bass. The instrument gave him a new musical voice. The bass allowed him to connect rhythm, harmony, and groove all at once. He graduated from Berklee in 1972 with a degree in composition. But his story was just beginning, because soon, a legendary film composer would give him advice that changed his life. Composer Henry Mancini, famous for film scores like The Pink Panther, encouraged Laboriel to move to Los Angeles to pursue studio work. That decision proved to be life-changing. In the 1970s, Los Angeles was the center of the recording industry. Thousands of albums, movie scores, and television soundtracks were being produced every year. But the studio scene was incredibly competitive. Only the best musicians survived. Laboriel did more than survive. He thrived. Soon after arriving in Los Angeles, Laboriel began recording with major artists. His bass style stood out immediately. Warm tone, powerful groove, melodic sensitivity. Producers loved working with him. Before long, his bass lines began appearing on countless recordings. He worked with artists such as Quincy Jones, Ray Charles, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, Elton John, Dolly Parton, Barbra Streisand. Over time, his recording credits grew into the thousands, and his reputation continued to grow. Many of the greatest musicians in history have been session players. These are the artists who record music behind the scenes. They may not always appear on album covers, but their playing becomes part of the soundtrack of millions of lives. Laboriel became one of the most respected session bassists in the world. So respected that Guitar Player magazine once called him the most widely used session bassist of our time. One reason for Laboriel's success was his versatility. He could play jazz, pop, rock, Latin music, gospel, film scores, and he did it all with authenticity. This ability allowed him to collaborate with artists across many musical worlds, from Brazilian musicians like João Gilberto and Gilberto Gil, to American legends like Ella Fitzgerald and Herbie Hancock. Laboriel's bass can also be heard in Hollywood. He has contributed to dozens of film soundtracks, including movies like Tootsie, Terms of Endearment, Forrest Gump, The Incredibles, Ratatouille. His ability to create emotional bass lines made him a favorite among film composers. In addition to studio work, Laboriel also formed musical groups. One of the most important was the jazz fusion band Koinonia. The group combined jazz improvisation with funk grooves and Latin rhythms. They released several albums during the 1980s and developed a strong following among musicians. For Laboriel, the band provided something different from studio work: creative freedom, improvisation, musical exploration. Although he was famous as a session musician, Laboriel also recorded his own music. His solo albums include Dear Friends, 1993, Guidum, 1994. These recordings highlight his musical personality and compositional style. They blend jazz, fusion, Latin rhythms, and spiritual themes. For Laboriel, music has always been connected to spirituality. Throughout his career, he has often spoken about his Christian faith. He has recorded numerous gospel and worship albums with artists like Andre Crouch, Don Moen, Ron Kennelly. For him, music is not just entertainment. It is also a form of expression and devotion. Music also runs through the Laboriel family. His son, Abe Laboriel Jr., became a world-class drummer. He is best known for performing with Paul McCartney on international tours. Another son, Matteo Laboriel, became a composer and producer. Together, the Laboriel family represents a unique musical legacy. After decades of recording and performing, Laboriel's contributions to music have been widely recognized. In 2005, Berklee College of Music awarded him an honorary doctorate in music. He was also ranked among the 100 greatest bass players of all time by Bass Player magazine. Beyond performing, Laboriel has also become an influential educator. He has taught workshops and masterclasses around the world. Young bass players often describe his teaching style as inspiring and energetic. For him, the goal of music education is not just technique. It is communication. Quote 1. Rhythm is my heart. Quote 2. Music is a gift from God. These ideas reflect the philosophy that has guided his entire career. Today, Abraham Laboriel is widely recognized as one of the most important bass players in modern music. His recordings span more than 5 decades, more than 4,000 recordings, dozens of genres, countless artists. Few musicians have left such a large musical footprint, and perhaps that is why many musicians describe him not only as a great bassist, but as a musician whose groove helped shape modern music itself. Some musicians seek the spotlight. Others create the music that supports the spotlight. Abraham Laboriel belongs to the second group, a musician whose bass lines quietly shaped thousands of songs, a groove that has traveled through generations, and a career that proves something powerful. Sometimes the most important musicians are the ones you hear everywhere, even if you don't always know their name. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next video.